let's go Transmute. Transmuting away Defiler, which triggers. Then we get Metamorph, copy Defiler, kill Barrowgoyf, kill Harbinger, play Saga, and attack. I don't see any way they get out of this. And this is why I don't look. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to be playing some Jewel today. This is what I would suggest bringing to Eternal Weekend if you're going to be playing Jewel. There's a lot of different ways to play this deck, many of which are comparable. It's a matter of pros and cons, right? I've chosen the no show and tell version for a couple reasons. One, I think it's a slightly higher risk, higher reward style. And I also think it's more difficult to play. So you have to be super judicious with your openers. And you gotta know when it makes sense to take the risk of playing your show and tell. And when it doesn't, it's a much more difficult card to play. So I think for the purposes of the sideboard guide that we did finish, that is on my Patreon, this is the best way to go. So basically, the difference between the show and tell version is instead of show and tell, you get Relic, Mightstone, and you have to play an extra land, a sink, because you're going down 3 blue cards, so you got to make up for the blue cards somewhere. So you wind up with 1 less island, an extra sink into Stupor, or a couple, rather, ultimately going up 1 land. But what it does do is it increases the amount of action that you have. And of course, these cards are just very flexible. Mightstone can get copied. It'd be like a mini Jewel. You can kill stuff. It's acceleration. You draw cards. If you haven't seen this deck, this is how it works. You, of course, have Force of Will for protection. You do have access to Vexing Bauble, which has some tension, but it still works very well in this deck. And we have a mana base that is mostly about accelerating and powering things out, but we also have Urza's Saga to make constructs. The whole point is to play a Jewel. Jewel costs 6, so it's a tall order, but if you manage to resolve one, you basically win the game. That's what the deck is designed to do. Obviously, the less resources you have prior to casting this card, the lower chance you have of winning on the spot. But if you have a handful of these copy effects, you're almost surely going to win. Cost 6, when it comes into play, you draw 3. You can add 3 mana of any color. It's like a Gilded Lotus. It does have a drawback. If your opponent attacks you and you don't block, not damage. Damage doesn't matter. If your opponent has a 1-ring trigger, you can still take jewels from them. But so if you get attacked and you do not block, they get the jewel. It untaps and it triggers, so it's as if they played it. So obviously that can be quite devastating in most circumstances in which you lose a or multiple jewels. But we have a lot of different ways to prevent that from happening. First and foremost, killing them the turn that you play jewel, right? But sinks can help bounce the 1 creature that they have. You can put some bodies into play with Urza's Saga. You can kill stuff with Mightstone. You can copy creatures with Metamorph. Bounce with Otawara. And last but not least, you can play your 1-ring and hope that they don't realize that they can still take your jewels. You'd be surprised how often that actually works. So the way that you win when you cast Jewel, you draw the 3 cards, you get the 3 mana, and then you copy it. Metamorph now costs 3 to draw 3 and get 3 mana. So it's just a free draw 3. Copy Artifact costs 2, so you actually net a mana while doing so. And Transmute Artifact, this one's a mouthful, but basically it's Tinker at Home. Costs 2 blue. You sacrifice an artifact, and then you can go get any artifact in your deck. If it's the same mana, then you get to keep it. If it's more mana than the artifact that you sacrificed, you just have to pay the difference. Otherwise, it never comes into play. It just winds up in the graveyard. You can't like get a jewel and underpay and get the trigger. But if you have a Jewel, functions as a 2-mana copy because you can sack it and go get another one. Or midway or towards the end of your sequence, Transmute will allow you to go get Paradox Engine, at which point you have a bunch of Jewels, and any spell will untap them all, and you get a Ring into play, or even a Relic of Sauron, and you can easily draw through your whole deck, at which point you play Emrakul. Now, of course, an Emrakul simply and only is not always going to win you the game. However, we can play infinite Emrakuls, which is pretty good. The way we do that is you play Emrakul, you can play a Phyrexian Metamorph copying Emrakul, the legend trigger occurs, or I'm sorry, rule, it's not a trigger, where you have to choose which one you want to keep, at which point you keep the copy, at which point Emrakul dies and triggers in your graveyard and shuffles back into your deck, and then you can draw back into it and recast it. And you can keep doing that as many times as you'd like. It basically beats a One Ring trigger even, right? Because you get to wipe their whole board and fill your hand with a bunch of forces and reset your own ring. They're just not going to untap and kill you at that point. Or an even faster way to double Emrakul is just to bounce it with Otawara and replay it. Or if you have a construct alongside it, and you can actually kill them in one swing, then you don't have to play it multiple times. But it's a very resilient win condition, right? Just because of the fact that it shuffles back in, it can't really get discarded. You'll see it again. Gives you random bonus points against Painter. And sometimes you just have enough mana to cast it, especially with Paradox Engine, or these Urza's Towers can really stack up. This is a new mana base, relatively speaking, of course, where Planar Nexus has proven to just be super powerful with Urza's Tower. It's a little bit slower out of the gate than something like City, but it's a lot more stable, and something this deck desperately needs is colored mana, so it can fix for blue, so you can cast your Transmutes and your copy artifacts, and your Sink into Stupor. But mostly it's for Transmute. But that's the deck. The version with Show and Tell. The biggest problem, well, the upside is that you have more power, right? It puts a Jewel into play for 3 mana, so it's basically a 3-mana ritual with some risk attached to it because your opponent gets to put something into play. The problem with it, and generally speaking, with all Jewel lists, is the fact that you have to run 12 copy effects. Now, these cards can be good on their own in various circumstances. Against Reanimator, copying large monsters is frequent, surprisingly frequent and powerful. Copy Artifact a little less flexible, but sometimes you copy a bunch of constructs. Whatever, they have use cases, but they are what I call prerequisite spells. They need certain conditions to be met before they do anything. So often enough, you do have these copy effects in your hand. You don't actually have a plan to combo off or kill your opponent. Show and Tell is another example of that type of card. Now, luckily they are blue, all of these cards, so they're good for Force of Will, and they are what make your Jewel so lethal and what make the deck function in the first place. It is, however, a downside, and Show and Tell does make that downside a bit more highlighted. Whereas something like Relic is action, something like Mightstone is action. It also changes sideboarding a little bit, but we don't have to go too far into detail about that. And there are other things that I'm testing for this deck. But like I said, there are just so many ways that you can play it. But if you're relatively inexperienced with it or just generally struggling, this list, accompanied by my sideboard guide, is going to get you places. For sure. I would check it out. We're going to showcase it here today. Hopefully we have a good league. But again, if you want to see the sideboard guide for this, or for both the Epic Gamble and Ruby Storm, and soon to be my Necrodominance list as well, you can head to my Patreon. Link is in the description. Be sure to check out my Twitch, which is where I make most of my content live. Almost always Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, around 11 EST. You can also catch me on Tuesday nights, bi-weekly, of course, on the Epic Storm YouTube live. You can, of course, watch the VODs afterwards. And don't forget about the podcast, The Bruised Paradise. where you get to listen to myself, Killaby, Punishing Waterfalls, and Newton. Well, that's enough of that. We'll see you in the first round. Okay, here we are in the first round with a pretty good hand I'm going to keep. We draw a Petal or Monolith. We have a turn 1 ring with Force Backup. And then we have some super solid mana afterwards. Looks like we're playing against blue-black tempo. They're going to drop a Nethergoyf to start. That is an excellent draw. Yeah, let's start with Ancient Tomb Monolith. We're going to force. I think I like forcing back here, because this tells me they don't have days. I feel like we're going to be playing into days. Don't want to do that with a Force of Will. We might not, but like if they wasteland us, yeah, exactly. Although I suppose getting my 1 ring dazed at this point would be pretty bad too. And this is where City would be certainly interesting at this juncture. I don't hate playing that first. At the same time, we're on something of a clock, but I think I should still play Vexing. And then next turn we'll probably play 1 ring. Since they're an interactive deck and have a threat on board, I don't really want to play a Naked Jewel unless I have to. If I draw a Copy Effect, I might consider it. Alright, we didn't get wastelanded, so that's great. Now we're going to have 7 mana, so if we draw a Copy Effect, we can play around days. And they're fully tapped into this Vexing Bauble right now, which is excellent. They get in for 3. Another tower. Okay. It's very tempting to Jewel, but I think we are supposed to 1 ring. Nothing they can do about it. Draw. Oof. That would have been a good draw off a Jewel. They're going to Brainstorm. We don't want to get wastelanded, but they have no way of knowing which one is better to hit. Yep, there's a wasteland. And they guessed correctly. That's a bummer. Another Nethergoyf. I mean, we're still in good shape. It's not going to do any damage. We go to 11. Alright, and that'll let us cast Jewel. Ooh, that's even better. And we hit another Copy Effect. So, yeah, let's go ahead and cast it. 3 lands is not good. Let's play a Monolith. Let's get another Jewel. We have this other Transmute. That's pretty good. Let's copy this Jewel. Okay. Now we can go get Engine and bounce one of these Goyfs. Now Engine triggers, we get all this mana, we can draw more cards, and we can just draw our whole deck and do the thing. Yeah, they're off it. I don't blame them. That was basically just how you draw it up for that matchup. This is one of the tougher matchups too. Like Reanimator has actually been a little easier just because of how powerful Metamorph is against them, but the blue-black tempo deck is definitely more difficult. Generally speaking, I'm cutting forces. I'm playing Grids, Vexing, Lodestone. I'll play a Defiler in case they have some sort of random hate. There is some tension between Bauble and Lodestone, so maybe I don't want the third one, but I might actually check my own guide. Due to a setup issue... Alright, this is irrelevant for us. Oh, with Defiler and Lodestone, you can actually cut Emrakul and trim one of the jewels. I don't have to check the guide. This one's pretty straightforward. I mean, maybe on the draw, Singleton Golem isn't good enough, but I think I'm still okay with it. Ooh. You don't really want land-light hands against the Wasteland Tempo deck. So I'm going to mulligan. Okay. Willing to keep this bottom Defiler. We are missing some major action, and we're missing Nexus for these towers. Saga's not bad. I'm going to play tower. And I think I want to play patiently. If they played turn 1 threat, I would probably play Vexing Bauble. But they didn't. They surveil away an Underground Sea, land, and they're passing. Okay, I don't hate this. They probably have a consigned to memory for a Vexing Bauble. Key. Alright, let's go Saga. They can consign this if they want. Play Key. They can consign this if they want. They can consign this if they want. Okay. I'm not going to run this Vexing Bauble into a consigned to memory. I think it's pretty obvious that's what they have. Although it is always a weird situation for them because although Consign does counter vexing, it also is a interactive card that can be used despite vexing as well. I'm gonna petty theft my key. Sure. It's fine with me. Okay, another land drop. No threats. Well, they have Brazen Borrower. Ancient Tomb. Ew, they're gonna consign that trigger. Okay. At least they can't play the Brazen Borrower now. See if they want to counter the vexing now. Alright, they're forcing it, pitching Daze. Play the Ancient Tomb. Monolith. They know I have Key. They're gonna consign this too, so they have two oh. The last two cards are Daze. No. They are not. Okay. Well then. We will pass the turn. We're in an okay spot. Not fantastic, but if we draw any action, we're just in there big time. Ponder's decent for them. I think if they were gonna Daze that, they should have picked up their sewers. Although I guess they want to be able to cast Brazen Borrower. But I think hard cast was kind of weird there. But we are an explosive combo deck, so they're afraid. I get it. Okay, they got two cards. We get Vexing Bauble if we draw some action. Heck yeah. Okay. Let's do that. Get Vexing. We make a blue. Untap the Opal. Make another blue. Tap Monolith and cast the Transmute. Excellent. I'm gonna get Jewel. Gonna cost 4 extra. Trigger. And they're off it. What were we gonna draw? Ooh, the Planar Nexus and a copy effect. And an engine. Yeah, that would have been game over, man. I guess copy would have gotten... Oh, yeah. Game over. Well, that was easy. We're 1-0, see you in round 2. Okay, round 2 coming up. We've won the die roll, playing against the red man. And is a little bit suspect. I think I'm actually going to mulligan it. Do have 2 lands and a petal, but we're pretty far away from Jewel. Feel better if I had a monolith or a ring, or even a force. Yeah, I think we can do better. This is not fantastic either, but it's probably closer. We don't draw land. We're in a lot of trouble. I'm going to go to 5. They went to 6. Alright, this is so much better. We've got the combo. We've got a 1 ring. We've got acceleration, a mana rock, and we have Saga. Bottom sink and transmute. Play tower and pass. We can play around a Daze, thanks to Monolith. Opponent is on 6. A little bit of moto lag here. There we go. Alright, Misty Rainforest, presumably a blue deck. But maybe not. I might be getting a forest. Play Nexus, play Monolith, and play around Daze. Alright, we're in. And we'll draw a card. All lands. Got a lot of mana, though. A lot of mana. Got a ring going. Looks like another blue-black deck. Shocking. Rainstorm, you got it. We're gonna F6. Underground Sea. Cool. Get the ring going here. Mightstone, not the worst. Especially when we have 8 mana. That's a lot of sagas. 3, 4, 5. I want to get Saga going, but I do want to cast Mightstone. I think I would rather go for Mightstone. Not that I can't, but I'm not going to run it into a Daze. And they might have to force this, but it doesn't seem great for them either way. Okay. We can copy Mightstone if we want, or we can just untap Monolith. We can also copy 1 ring. Kind of like having Metamorph, though. They make a monster. I think I'm fine with just untapping this. And we'll pass. Getting close to Emrakul mana. Oh, not anymore. It's alright. Still have a ton of mana. I'm gonna make a troll. That's fine. We can always copy it. Or we can copy Mightstone and kill it. It's not much of a problem there. There's the Emrakul. Play Saga. See how they react to a Metamorph. They're gonna force it. Pitching Daze. Let's force back, because I'm not 100% sure that I want to tap this monolith just yet. In fact, I might even just copy Mightstone. Then they can just bring the troll back. Like another force, pitching Atraxa. Okay. Could use Petal instead of Monolith. It is a blue source that I might need. I think I'm still in for it. Could use both and save the life, but I think I'll use Petal and pay life. And I'm gonna kill it. We're drawing a ton of cards. With this One Ring here, I think I just need to, even if they bring it back, just getting it off the table for one turn is really good. We're probably gonna hit a Nexus, in which case there's definitely an argument for playing Tower instead of Saga. They have one card. Let's hope it's not a Bowmasters. But we can probably still beat that too. Alright, we go to 9. Vexing. Let's draw. All the action. You guys still want to refrain from playing a land? Holding out for Nexus. Let's go. This Vexing doesn't actually do anything for us here. They would need exactly Force Negation. We're still in fine shape even if they have it. They probably scoop to this. Nope. But they are going to die. Play Monolith. Play Copy Artifact. Another one going. Oh, sorry, I don't have the preview pane up. Let's make some more blue. And I guess we can just go get Engine. Then we play a Petal. And we've got all the mana in the world. All of it. Copy Artifact, why not? Some more mana. Some more cards. Guess I already have Emrakul. Let's cast that. They're at 11. Let's reset the ring. And cast Emrakul. Pretty good, pretty good. How you like me now? Okay. Against Blue-Black Reanimator. Up a game, feels good. So, I take out forces. I do want to play Defiler. Grids and Vexing. I don't want Lodestone when I only have one against Reanimator. They're probably going to do something broken underneath it. I do like Soul Guide. Cage is good against them, but I would like for my Transmute Artifact to be able to get Chaos Defiler and to be able to get Phyrexian Metamorph, of which it can't with Cage in play. Now you can sack Cage, but Cage isn't very good at getting you stuff with Transmute Artifacts. It only costs 1. So I just play the Soul Guide, and then Trim Relic, and Mightstone, and that's it. Okay, this hand is not gonna do it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not thrilled with it, but I'll keep bottom copy artifact. Sure. Get Vexing into grid, and we have an action spell. Our mana is not the best, but that can change. We draw a Nexus, that'll change. Thoughtseize, yep. Thoughtseize is definitely annoying. I was gonna say they're probably reading Transmute right now. Such a large box of text. Yay. Saga. Well, I'm gonna lead on Otawara. I don't want Tower to get wastelanded. We could have played it. Make room for the Saga. You can also argue the other way around. Playing Saga to help insulate your Tower to be good later on. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll play Grid. It's probably going to get hit by a Consigned to Memory. But we got to get through it. It did not. Interesting. Oh, Cannon Tomb. Okay, you can cycle. That you can do. They just making a troll? Well, not even yet. A downside of playing Saga here is we drew Nexus. We would really want to have played Tower. But if I want to make use of these tokens at all, we gotta make them sooner rather than later, since they're doing super broken stuff. Although it doesn't look like they're finding the super broken stuff. Roll is something we can probably manage, especially since we have all this protection. It's worth noting these are a non-bow when in play together, in some capacity. If they have the 3 mana to pay for grid, then their spell costs mana and Vexing will not counter it. But what it did do is help us resolve the grid, and then we can cycle it. Thoughtseize again, but they're not on board. They only have 4 cards, and we have protection. We have land underneath us. We're making construct tokens. We're definitely favored here. We're not, like, guaranteed or anything, but we're in a good spot. They make an Atraxa, will be protected by grid because they'll be tapped out for it. But we might just be able to copy it or even bounce it if we have to. See how it plays out. Cast another Brainstorm. Fetching. They're down to 14, and they haven't even reanimated. Just from fetches and Thoughtseizes. 2 fetches, 2 Thoughtseizes. Wow, a land drop, a shuffle, and a Brainstorm. This is desperate. I like this. Don't like that. This is going to be Entomb Reanimate, but we might be able to just kill them with Sink into Super, bouncing whatever they put into play. Right, they get the Archon. Oh, they don't even have it. They just have to do it because of grid. That's interesting. Make a dude. Hope they don't have Fatal Push. They don't. Defiler. That's not great. Make another dude. Get an Opal. No, let's get Soul Guide. Yeah, I'm gonna get Soul Guide. And we can just boink this Archon. Boop. Let's see, do I want to play a land? I think so. I think I'd play it tapped. It's a good land to have in hand, but we don't have any mana in play. Alright, OP, what do you got for me? You got the graveyard covered completely. They got nothing. So, we 2-0'd 2 of the best decks in the format, back to back, and those are not really our good matchups. Like, they're fine, obviously, but they can be very challenging. The decks are broken, they're highly interactive, but as you can see, we can hang with the best of them. 2-0, 4-0, see you in round 3. Okay, round 3 against blacklotusknight. We're on the play. We take those, and sure. We have a Force, we got a Saga, we have a lot of permanent mana, we have Acceleration, we don't have major action, but I'm going to start on Saga. Alright, our opponent also kept 7. Another blue deck. No Wasteland. Another Saga. Not bad. Go Ancient Tomb, and we'll just pass. They're going to fetch on end step. Shocker. It's an Underground Sea. Hopefully not Entomb. It's Entomb. I think I would rather fight while they're tapped out. Or maybe not. We can copy. We can get Vexing and copy. So the problem is if they reanimate and find Wasteland. But I'm going to hope they either have to cast the cantrip, or they have to use Animate Dead, and we don't get Wastelanded. Because then we can get Vex and Bobble, and we can just copy it. Yep, they're going to use Animate Dead. That's fine. Okay. Get rid of the duplicates here. They kept Thoughtseize, Wasteland, Force, and Frog. Makes sense. And now it's our turn. Go ahead and make a thing. And they discard 2 lands to hand size. Another tower. Can't really afford to make another token here. Let's go get Vexing. Let's see, we're gonna get Wastelanded. Non-zero chance we can cast stuff off of Atraxa. Be it Ancient Tomb, I can cast my Monolith. Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm gonna pay all the life and not make a land drop yet. And we copy, trigger. Okay. So that's a free instant grab. Force a Will. This is the only land or enchantment. Might as well grab it. So now it's artifact and creature. I think I want Jewel and Metamorph. Or no, I guess copy artifact and copy 2. Yeah, that's an enchantment, so I get that anyways. I'm forgetting about that. Metamorph and Jewel. Alright. And I guess I'll play Island. And we'll see where this goes. We're gonna get Thoughtseized. Could crack Bobble and wind up double forcing whatever they do. But it's gonna play into Daze, and they have a Force. I think we just have to get hit by Thoughtseize. Let's get rid of these forces. I guess I don't need this many lands. Keep one of the forces. There's the Wasteland. We're gonna trade Atraxas. We don't have to. and they can just bring it back, but then they're tapped out in the Vexing again, and then we can copy it again. Bummer we didn't find Transmute. I think I block here. Gaining life is also not nothing. They're just passing? Or no, they're in the... They're not in second main yet. Yeah, we're gonna get Thought Seized. We can take our Metamorph. They... took Grim Monolith. And they don't have Reanimate. Interesting development. Copy Artifact. Alright, let's play Saga. Copy Artifact. Copy a Construct. And get in. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten rid of the other land. Got rid of a tower and a Saga, I think. The other Saga would have been better than this Force. Fanatic, huh? Okay. I mean, once again, Axa into our Vexing Bubble. Well, we have a Metamorph. I think they have a land drop this time. But they don't have Thoughtseize. Hate keeping track of all this. They're gonna Ponder. I don't know what they kept. Troll, Ponder, Animate Dead, and TonyScapone. I don't know which card TonyScapone is, but, you know. They didn't even grab a land. Okay. I think this is the known stuff. Alright, back to copying Atraxa. They discard Animate Dead and Troll. They have none of the cards that they got off of Atraxa. And that's punishment for playing Island instead of Tower. It's okay though. We are priced into doing this. I mean, I guess not necessarily, but I think it's still correct to do it. Okay. Copy Artifact as a freebie. Probably another Tower. Transmute as a freebie. From Monolith. And Force of Will. Okay. So, this time, I think I get rid of the forces. No attacks. Force of Will gone. And I'm going to have more than enough to Jewel, and we're going to have a bunch of copy effects. And we're in the same situation with these Atraxas. I think if they attack, I think I trade again because it forces them to tap out. Having said that, they didn't tap out. I think the best they can do is like hardcast Daze. We're going to play around anyways. As long as we didn't get wastelanded there. Which we didn't. I mean, even Petty Theft is just whatever. Like, we're not going to die from an attack. They're going to tap down under our Vexing Bauble. In fact, it's probably better for us because they're going to put a copy effect back into our hand. Frog doesn't matter. They discarded Archon of Cruelty. That also doesn't matter. Get rid of one of these constructs. And I guess the tower. We're just going to win next turn. I think I actually just take the hit. I don't care about that. I can transmute away the Atraxa. We can even do that and copy Archon multiple times. But I think just winning with Jewel is going to be better. We'll get our key. Play Nexus. Play Monolith. Untap. Play Jewel. Draw 3. Still think Jewel is better to copy than Atraxa. It's just deterministic. Can't actually miss here. Proceeds to miss. Alright, Monolith. Copy. And then we'll transmute. Transmute a Jewel away. I guess we could have done Atraxa, but it's whatever. Paradox Engine. Play another Jewel. Make a bunch of mana. Not even gonna bother with the key. Actually, I guess I'll make my stuff unblockable. It'll be a fun way to kill them. They have Mightstone. Start killing stuff with Mightstone for fun. And profit. Make this one unblockable. Bounce this one. Play a Relic of Sauron. Get some mana. Draw a couple cards. Discard. Sink. The frog. Sink. This thing. 19. I guess we don't have lethal yet. Let's make that happen. I guess they're unblockable, but we're also bouncing stuff. We're just, you know, having some fun here. Alright, they finally tapped out. I guess we gotta worry about the clock, because that was a long game before we comboed. Alright, again, forces out. Grids and Bauble. Soul Guide. Defiler. And then Relic and Mightstone come out. Let's go. Ancient Tomb Monolith. Sure. It's an aggressive hand. Wasteland could be an issue. Be nice if we just drew more mana. But there's definitely a fast kill here. A really fast kill. This kill's on turn 2 if it's completely unhindered, but I don't expect that to happen. Red is interesting. They're F6th. Means I'm playing Monolith. Yeah, that's it. F6th. What does that mean? Entomb Reanimate? No, just non-force of will stuff. Alright, a land is great. Then we go Vexing. They probably counter it. They did not. Grid will probably counter that. It's a consign to memory. Now they can't daze our one ring. They can consign it if they have 2. The second one. They did not. And now we're way ahead. Cool. Null Rod would be devastating, but they definitely didn't have it. They may be able to find it with this Brainstorm. Mana number 3. Harbinger? Okay. That's fine. I like blue mana. Activate. Is that a win? 3, 4, 5. Really close. We can transmute the ring away. I think I just want to go Engine Pass. It's kind of weak to Petty Theft. We can Jewel here, but that seems really risky. Because I have to transmute one ring away. Or the Monolith away for another Monolith. And play this Monolith, and then Jewel. You can also just get Defiler. And play Monolith. No, I'm one shy of that. Let's get Engine into play. I feel like it'd be tough to lose from here. It can happen. They need basically Petty Theft. It looks like they might have. Of course. But they kind of tap out for it. They only have 1 mana up against the Vexing. We're drawing cards. Metamorph. That's a grid. We didn't actually draw any mana. Transmute can help. 2, 3. I can transmute, get Chaos Defiler, and play grid. Yeah. Let's get Chaos Defiler. Well, I guess with this in play, they have no black mana. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I'm just supposed to Jewel from here. A lot of copy effects. Jewel. I could consign this trigger. Then we got plenty more where that came from. Okay. Now we go grid. Here comes the consign. Yep. Player Island. Transmute. Guess getting last Jewel is a little bit dicey. Yeah, let's just go Defiler. Pass it over. Be nice if we could find a Nexus. Did get rid of our ring. But it was dealing a ton of damage to us too. Anything they put into play, I can just copy Defiler. Kill it. Animate dead on that, sure. No big deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, give me any other land. Still can't Engine plus a spell. Okay then. Let's copy Defiler. Build a troll. Another Vexing. Actually, I should have held that for the engine. Oops. That was a mistake. Probably won't get punished. But I could. Barrogoyf. Okay. Barrogoyf. Oh. So let's go Transmute. Transmuting away Defiler. Which triggers. Then we get Metamorph. Copy Defiler. Kill Barrogoyf. Kill Harbinger. Play Saga. And attack. I don't see any way they get out of this. And this is why I don't love playing Cage in this matchup, right? Like, Cage could stop some stuff, but Look at how many times we just transmuted for creatures. One card. A Barrowgoyf. Sure. Now I can untap Monolith. We can just do it that way, I suppose. This way is quicker. Just copy another Defiler. Get out of here. And attack. Dead. Holy crap, man. 204060. Reanimator twice. Blue-black tempo. Quite the showing. In round 4. Okay, undefeated in round 4. We're on the play again. We are getting very lucky in that sense, which is nice. This hand is acceptable. Got a force. Got some action. It's got Saga Tomb. It's got blue sources. Opponent mulliganed once. Well, let's get a Saga in there. And pass it over. Another Underground Sea. Well done. Play Ancient Tomb and pass. Be nice if we could play against something else. Alright, similar situations before, except we do not have Phyrexian Metamorph, so I guess we're supposed to fight over this. I'm gonna pitch Stupor. If they want to fight back, or if they can. They can. They do. Okay. They get Archon. Which does get wrecked by Metamorph if we draw it. Or the One Ring. Yep. Think I get rid of Nexus? Could be Mightstone, but I'm gonna get rid of Nexus. Ooh, a Wasteland. This is the same thing that happened to us before, except the difference is being we don't have Phyrexian Metamorph. They could only produce Archon. And the huge difference is getting Wastelanded. Do they have Atraxa in hand? Like, I don't know why you'd get Archon. But, okay, we're hoping to draw Metamorph and that they have no more permission. They have 3 cards. They did not. We're going to be taking 9. Guess we're not quite dead yet. 9, 5. Technically, I can still pay the 4 life for a Metamorph if we draw it. And maybe stabilize at 1. It goes away. I guess Mightstone. Go to 5. Cycle Troll. Make a Troll. Yeah, that turns that off. Didn't draw it anyways. Okay. I mean, doesn't really get much better than what they just did. Entomb Reanimate with Force and Wasteland. Outrageous. Alright, Force is out. Grids. Bauble. Soul Guide. Defiler. Mightstone out. Relic out. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. And is great. I want to open on grid. Avoid consign. If we can. Does delay Saga, which is a bummer. And if they have a force, that's also a bummer. They do. And to get rid of a Flood Moon. Blooded Strand. And they're going to ponder. Sure. And we draw Transmute. Alright. Go Saga. And play a key. Pass it over. Wasteland, yup. They've got 5 cards. One Ring is not terrible. Really hoping to not get Wastelanded again. At least if they hit Tomb and we draw Tower, we'll have good mana. If they hit Nexus, we at least still have a Soul Land. Another Ponder. And pass. Tower? That's a terrible draw. We need mana desperately. Transmute, Ring, Jewel. Not great draws here. No. Okay. Be nice if they tap out for something. Yep. And then we draw a Monolith. Any Monoliths? Wow. No lands ever. No mana ever. Like, we started with 3 lands. But we just haven't drawn any. Or Monolith. Alright, Frog is getting in. It's not good for us. Not good at all. You. You knew it. You knew it was gonna happen. Okay, I mean, this game just was not meant to be. We were not drawing crap. Or drawing all crap. Alright, 3-1, see you in the final round. Okay, final round, and we won the die roll again. I think we won all 5. Turn 1 ring. I suppose we'll keep. Hope they don't have a force. Kept on 7. Petal. Saga. A monolith. It's like we might be getting in. Monolith number 2. 1 ring. Alright, we're in. Draw. And pass it over. Turn 1 ring is a good start. Forest, huh? Listener Elf, okay. Infect. So we played against nothing but blue-black, and now we're going to finish it off with some Infect. I'll take it. I will take it. We might be dead. Don't mind having a Force of Will. We still might be dead. Hopefully this force is enough to keep us alive. A land. Noble Hierarch, okay. It's technically a pump spell, but not much. 2 coming in. Okay. Is that it? No pumps? Love it. I'm loving it. Go to 17. Let's go get a key. And let's see if we can find a nexus. We did. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're playing around days, and we have a force. Yeah, I'm going in deep here. We've got the transmute. It's just in there. Brew engine. Not exactly what you want to draw. Let's transmute. A jewel away. Yeah, I'm not a coward. Let's go. Okay, we had another transmute. Yeah, let's go for it again. We are really looking to find Petal and a blue card. Opal works. Let's go. Found a copy effect. Okay. Draw 3 more. That should do it. So we can transmute. Go get Metamorph. Copy Jewel. Now we have enough mana to play Engine plus this other transmute. And we found Opal anyways. Let's go ahead and play Engine. And Opal. Alrighty. Yep. Sweet. We don't have to go through it all. Okay. On the draw against this deck. I'd probably play Lodestone on the play, but maybe not even. Actually, I probably will. I think on the play I'm going to be playing Grids and Baubles. I could also just do that on the draw. Forces aren't, like, super reliable. And then probably want Defiler instead of that. And this member's okay. Yeah, let's play it over Relic and 1 Sync. Not a keepable hand. This mulligan is not fantastic, but I'm going to keep it. Get rid of one of the sagas. I think I want Nexus in case I draw Tower. Alright, it's not an Infect creature. Vexing is nice. They have no island. Let's play that. No force. Rainstorm. The miss on lands? Wow. Holy moly. Makes me wish I could dismember. Am I supposed to dismember? I guess Veil of Summer would be a blowout. Yeah, I'm gonna make tokens. It's really close, though. If they don't have Veil of Summer there, they're in so much trouble. They don't even have a cantrip to get themselves out. They just cast Blighted Agent. Now we can kill it, thanks to Vexing. Easy game. They don't even have a forest for Invigorate anyways. I think I want to do 1 ring stuff and kill Blighted Agent. Could just make a construct. No, let's go 1 ring. We can ring walk for days here. Go get Opal. Do 1 ring. Draw card. Sync is interesting. Kill this Blighted Agent. And get in for 4. Not bad. Not bad at all. There's still Brainstorm stuck, yep. Blighted Agent, that's fine. We're just gonna be ring walking. And drawing cards. Or we could just win. Yeah, we'll just win instead. Winning's pretty cool. Draw 3. Oh yeah, looking good. I think they're probably gonna tap out. Okay. Monolith. Copy Jewel. Let's copy Jewel. We can always double sync if we need to. Oh, we do not need to. Transmute. Go get engine. Yes, copy artifact, and I would imagine they're gonna scoop it up here. Yep, that's a scooper. Okay, I would say that was a pretty good showing. We played against Blue-Black Reanimator 3 times, and we 2-0'd, 2-0'd, and lost 1-2. Or did we lose 2-0? No, we lost 2-0. I lied. That's okay, though. And then we beat Blue-Black Tempo as well. So 4 of the matches were basically the best deck. Like the tier 0 broken. So 3-1 against them is very good. And then we played Infect, which was fine. Funny enough, I played against it last FNM with Jewel. With this list, too. I brought this to FNM. I beat it. It was close. It was 2-1. Closer than this match. But I hope I was able to demonstrate just why this deck is very powerful, legitimate. You can absolutely take an event down with it. I think there's a common misconception that, sure, it's great, but how are you going to beat Tempo? Well, the Reanimator deck is actually easier than the Blue-Black Tempo. As you can see, we just get to copy their monsters a lot, so it makes it really difficult for them. And then so many of the other matchups are just kind of a walk in the park. There's a lot of hate that we don't care about. We don't care too much about Vexing Bauble, Chalice. Obviously, Null Rud can be a problem, but we have a lot of outs to it. This list has 3 Sink into Super, 1 Odawara. Of course, you have Saga. It's Collector if you have Mightstone that you can get with Transmute. Post-board, it gets even better. So again, this is the list that is on my sideboard guide that you can find on my Patreon. But I will be making guides for other versions as well. But I'm kind of fleshing out a few things myself, so I'm going to keep jamming, keep jeweling. Hope you enjoyed this video, and of course check out my Twitch, Patreon, podcast. All the links are in the description. Keep storming or jeweling. See y'all next time. Peace.